All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the new Dokkan Fest that's coming out, and mainly their banner unit. So the new Dokkan Fest was announced, right? So the Vegeta plus Nappa from the Saiyan Saga. Now, I think this is a good character. I think this is a good pick. It's a nice little filler spot for them. I think they're going to work out very, very well. Now, there's a part in their passives where they would need to have a lot of Saiyan Saga. They need to have a lot of extreme class Saiyan Saga more specifically. Now, one of those holes can be filled by their banner unit. So we have the Saibaiman here. Now, the only thing about these Saibaiman that really stood out as kind of odd was in their passive. So there's a line in their passive that says per ally whose name includes Saibaiman attacking in the same turn, and they're going to get a lot of these buffs here. Now, this was something that in our breakdown video, we did kind of point this out. And basically, I was like, there's going to be a free-to-play Saibaiman team. There has to be. Because if you're going to put a line in here that talks about per Saibaiman attacking in the same turn, the only like Saibaiman characters that we actually have are this April Fool's unit, this old like April Fool's unit, which it'd be cool if they brought this back. It'd be very good because I don't have this character, so I would love to have that. And then this rare Saibaiman that you just get from doing summons, right? The other way you can get a Saibaiman on the team is if you leave a spot blank on your team, it automatically fills it in with a Saibaiman character, which ultimately like isn't really that good. So you definitely don't want to do that. But this line here definitely points out to the fact that we are going to get some more Saibaiman for our team, which is great for not only this character, but for the Vegeta and Nappa themselves, because they do need Saiyan Saga extreme class characters. Now, we already did a video where we kind of talked about maybe some easy A's that we could see coming for this celebration. And I think those, along with more Saibaiman, would be very cool. So this reminds me a lot of like the Metal Cooler. When Metal Cooler dropped, right, he got a free-to-play Metal Cooler team with a bunch of different typings. The Goku Black from the GDC last year, he dropped alongside a bunch of free-to-play Goku Black clones that worked very well with him, right? Because he boosted them up a lot. Now, for the Saibaiman themselves, I was trying to think about the way they could do this. So if we look at like the Metal Cooler team, right? They dropped the Metal Coolers. There's one of each typing. They have the typing written in their name, which makes them able to link together, run together, and work very well synergistically. If we look at the Goku Black clones, they do the exact same thing, right? They're the exact same named character, Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose clone, with the exception of physical, STR, int, tech, you know, so on, so on, so on, AGL. I was like, there's the other. I was like, where'd the other one go? He's down here. This is exactly how I would expect them to do this with Saibaiman. Or I have another theory that I think would be much more fun and way cooler, honestly. So they could do this, right? They could just do a bunch of just regular Saibaiman characters, right? If they want to just throw the Saibaiman themselves, they can do a tech, an int, an STR, a fizz, an AGL. That's totally fine. If they decide to go that route, it is what it is. I would love to see something like this. So if you've ever played like the Budokai games or Xenoverse, or even in Legends, I guess they have these. They're the different types of Saibaiman that are all like the different colors. They have the different names. So I think getting these guys as free-to-play characters would be so cool. This would be so cool to me, to have like all these different types of Saibaiman in here as free-to-play characters, and not just like a bunch of the green Saibaiman that are just broken up into different like typings, right? So physical, STR, so on and so on. I think this would be a much more fun, a much more unique kind of take on building these free-to-play teams of these same name, same type characters, where honestly, like, they wouldn't have the same name, right? So you could easily run these guys anywhere else, but there does come the issue here where it does need to be Saibaiman, right? Whose names include Saibaiman in the name. So unless they want to have these guys like Copy Man or Tanaman, whatever, they want to have that in parentheses Saibaiman, then it would work. I would love to see this. I would love to see them do something along the lines of these kind of characters and kind of get them added into the game as a much more just fun, unique kind of free-to-play team. But I think they would have to add in, parentheses Saibaiman in order for it to work, because of the passive explicitly calling out Saibaiman. So it's kind of looking more like it'll be something like this, where it's the exact same character multiple times, just with the actual typing in the name, in order for them to run together, in order for them to link up, in order for them to work. That's probably what's going to end up happening here. Either way, I think it's going to be very fun. I think getting a full free-to-play Saibaiman team is actually kind of hilarious to me, and that fits the bill perfectly for an April Fool's kind of Dokkan Fest. You get a bunch of Saibaiman just kind of running around, man. I think that'd be so much fun. I think it'd be so hilarious. I just think it'd be just a great time. And again, they run very, very well with the new character, right? They need the Saiyan Saga. They need the extreme class, especially the Nappa side of the character needs that. So let's pull up the Nappa's details here. So specifically here on Nappa, right? He calls out needing to have Saiyan Saga extreme class. Saibaiman fits the bill. He is the one who plants the Saibaiman, so him having this in there makes total sense. The banner unit being the Saibaiman, having this makes total sense, because there was 5 of them, I think, if I remember right, 5 of them that he grew. So it fits the bill, man. I think this would be a great way to do this. I think it'd be so much fun, unique, all that good stuff. So this is what I want to see coming. I know they're going to do it just because of the way this is worded. We saw, like I said, we saw it the exact same way with the Goku Black, where he boosted super bosses and people whose name included Goku Black, and we were kind of like, what? And then when they dropped the free-to-play team, we were like, oh yeah, this makes total sense, which is exactly what they're doing here. So I'm looking forward to it. I think getting a full Saibaiman team is going to be a lot of fun. Again, I hope they find a way to kind of incorporate these guys in here. Even, I guess, maybe if they just don't even do the names, they just call them Saibaiman, that would work. But I would love to see these guys in here with, in parentheses, Saibaiman. That way we have something a little bit more different than just this, right? Which, these are great. I know maybe they want to do something kind of like they did the Goku Blacks here, where they have the regular card and then you do the special conditions in the event to get the alternate art card. I think it would be very cool, very fun. I think that's something they definitely could do as well. But I think this is probably what we're going to see more so than this, unless they, like I said, they want to throw Saibaiman somewhere in the name, because it explicitly says, I can't talk, explicitly says Saibaiman has to be in the name. So we'll see what they decide to do, but this is definitely going to be a cool free-to-play team that they are going to build around this new character, around this new Dokkan Fest, and I am actually really excited. So that's going to do it for the video. I wanted to drop this in really fast, because I know I've mentioned this Saibaiman thing a couple of times over the past couple of videos. So I just want to drop my thoughts in there about how they could do this, how they would run this, and then my hope for something just slightly different in terms of the naming of the Saibaiman, or the color scheme of the Saibaiman, whatever. I just think this would be a much more fun, much more cool, much more, call it exciting. It's not really exciting, but for me, it'd be exciting to have these guys in there, as opposed to just a bunch of green Saibaiman with the different typing in the name. Just my thought, right? But that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys did stick around to the end, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of a very, very likely free-to-play Saibaiman team coming to Dokkan. I just think it's so funny. And how would you like to see them do this? Do you want to see them do it the exact same way here, just a bunch of different typings with the typing in the name, the typical green Saibaiman? Or do you want them to try to work some way around getting these guys built in there as well? Again, I think this would be a much cooler option. They would just have to do something with having Saibaiman in the name, and that's really the only fix. But we'll see what they decide to do. But until then, that's going to be it. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you!